Greetings, I'm Liz.
And I'm Scandal!
And let's play a game together! Alrighty, that was brilliant. Alright, so we are...
Alright, I'm so excited because we're gonna have Mortal Kombat!
We're gonna have the apprentice just fighting in the Coliseum, old school style. The blood will fly, my friends.
I am super excited. If I honestly...
You know what? No one knows what's happening except for Nadia, and no one knows what they're supposed to be doing except for Nadia, and we're just all gonna improv everything.
Hang on.
Huh?
It is the song again.
Oh, it's the courtroom song. Is this just Nadia's theme, like, period?
Except for the fact that there's evil Frollo presiding, so I don't know what it's talking about.
I don't know. It's the parlor room music. Just have the parlor room music.
Right, out in the middle of a Coliseum.
It'd be beautiful. It's okay. We walked in, like, apparently the only entrance door is actually down into the Coliseum itself. I love this dancing in this room. Like, we're crying.
Sorry, I'm having fun.
And so what's happened is everyone enters in the view of the crowd, and then they all sort of file out to their seats. And now they've all been waiting for a long time, so I walked in and I was like, yay, finally we can start! Oh God, please!
Who's that? Yells
one person, who the hell is that?
Everybody else turns around, punches them. Don't you know the Magician's Apprentice? Like everybody.
Oh my God! And welcome to Chapter 2, The Magician's Apprentice. And the one person who doesn't know who they are, we hate them.
And they will be ostracized immediately.
All around me, the crowd gossips and chatters, bubbling with anticipation. I'm just standing down here where everyone can see me looking up at this spectacle Hunger Games style. It's fine.
And going, I didn't volunteer as tribute. I don't know what's going on.
I got requisitioned as tribute. My name was drawn by the Countess. It's fine. I didn't even have a sibling that I could volunteer for, so you know. 3 stands have been hastily constructed in the center of the arena. Oh, we shrank it down like crazy. Now we are just walking down an aisle of shame.
Oh, God.
Towards the...
And shame. Shame. Getting slowly flogged with those little tiny, you know, like a horse tail.
Oh,
you
no.
know.
The fly swatters.
Fly swatters.
Julian is already at the accused stand. How do we know what the accused stands look like if this is a dark country's method of presidement?
Presentation, trial by bullshit.
There's never been a trial in this country, and I've never been, and no one knows how it works the way it does in Nadia's country, and I can't remember my whole life anyways. How would I know that's where he's standing?
Oh, you know, because no pressure.
Surrounded by guards. He's just got a little box of guards straight around him, shoulder to shoulder, square, facing out. Okay.
Except that literally what we're talking about is the 2 guards that exist in the world, and so they've reached around and they're all like plastered out like the cards,
right? Because freaking
Alice in Wonderland. They're just like reaching.
Just so you know, we did encounter one other third unnamed guard, but that's the one who let us into the Coliseum.
Oh, that's true.
The one who saluted us for no reason on the way in.
The panic, right.
Who's that? Shit, salute him quick. Standing in her private box, Nadia clears her throat and speaks, her voice ringing out over the arena.
Nadia, you are so awesome.
People of Vesuvia, before you stands a man accused of murder, Dr. Julian Dvorak. In the past, the late Count would have just had him killed. But today marks the inauguration of a new era, one best served by a true justice system.
I mean, the fact is people believe...
So she's saying that everyone who was even accused was executed. Period.
Wow.
Because she doesn't say a man who's been convicted of or we know to be, just in the past the accused died.
I mean, again, if apparently the Count is the king, so the king gets to accuse, basically, in this case, whoever he wants, and he gets to execute as many people as he likes, and the people will not murder him.
I still want to be like, if you're a count and you're a countess, what part of the king's kingdom are you a part of?
Again, I'm like, the only thing I have is basically that they're just...
Those names mean king and queen here?
That's it.
I am waiting for the king and queen to show up, be like, yes, you count and countesses who have been regents of this country over here.
We've heard that you've been in some deep bullshit lately,
or that basically
we're here for it.
Nadia, my countess, who married in to the count in this kingdom over here. You've been running it like shit, by the way. You know what? The Coliseum shut down. Commerce is tragic. You haven't had an influx of new people since the plague when more than half of you died off. We think you need some fresh management, you know? We sent the court over to you, and, demons didn't help, so maybe we should remarry you, or someone very diplomatic, someone who's good at,
Are you calling the courtiers demons?
I did.
I mean, I love the fact that you like that. I'm like, because I was like, the only thing I could think of was going, like, are they like some sort of weird ethereal monsters? Like, that's all I got. They've got too many weird, unnatural.
The answer is clearly to add another man to the circumstance, one who can, really handle the burden of the complexities of the kingdom.
And then suddenly this becomes all about misogyny.
And suddenly, it's defeat the patriarchy and sexism. Round 3 is going to be Nadia versus sexism. That'll be the third game.
That's fine. I thought that was going to be the second one.
Well, I mean, if this is the first... Okay, I guess this is the first game. It's the prologue, so that'll be game 2.
Yeah, game 2.
Game 2 is
game 2.
Nadia empowers herself and reclaims the kingdom. I don't know. It's fine. All right. Nerd. The magician apprentice, who's not fully a magician, I appointed as investigator in this case, will present what they have uncovered. Then, people of Vesuvia, you will determine whether he is guilty or not. The crowd roars in excitement.
Kill him! Kill him! That's honestly, with this crowd...
Hot dogs!
Cotton candy! No, honestly,
Get
with this
souvenirs! Dvorak Dolls here!
Comes with guillotine!
I have to say, tiny hangman's nooses! Plague masks! Child-sized plague masks!
Oh, God! Capitalism rears its ugly head in medieval fantasy land.
It's okay, we're trying to boost the economy.
Hey, guess what? It's working.
It's working, it's fine.
Oh, God.
Alright, crowd roars. Praetor Vlastimil will preside over this trial. Should the people fail to reach a verdict, he will decide. Yes, it is time to begin yet. Is it time to begin yet?
Is it time to begin yet?
Vlastimil bangs a gavel on the podium in front of him. I can't. Hang on. It's too hollow sounding.
It really is. I don't have it.
I'm like, I need a harder. There we go, maybe. I feel
much better.
It's
okay.
Anyway. All right, gavel in front of him. Now then, I declare this man Praetor. That is, I declare this man ready to stand trial. Investigator, make your opening statement.
Who's in it?
I step forward to my place at the questioner's stand, which I somehow know what is and where I'm supposed to be.
Okay. So I don't know what system this is based off of, but I'm going to assume it's things that... So the audience here seems to be assumed basically to have a certain level of interaction with the justice system, right? It's going off of... The writers are going, people will understand this justice system and this is the one we know the best. Isn't it that the prosecution goes first? Because they're the ones making the accusation?
As far as I can tell,
the state usually goes
we're not
first.
against anyone. We're against their general knowledge over the last 10 years of rumors. 8 years, whatever it is, 4 years. We don't know. I think it's 8 years.
So all we're doing, though, is just presenting a case to... But you said that there would be, basically presenting a case to the jury, but it's like you have to have a counter-argument, right?
No, apparently we don't, unless somebody else is at this trial that we don't know about. I bet Braid Boy will show up. He's going to be the counter-argument.
Oh, God.
I have no idea. That's my best guess.
That would be great.
That's my okay, so as much as I can't pick up the emotional tone of this game, we really have been picking up the authorial tone of this game, and that's why we've been able to guess voices when there's question marks. So I laud the writers for that, because that is super cool to be able to go, hang on, who would rashly be here? And then that's who's there.
Right?
It's really
super
cool.
good. Okay.
It's so nice. All right, how do I know where I'm supposed to step forward to? What my cue is?
It's okay. We've had problems with the fact that we've had no
I
time
have
at all.
magical knowledge despite all of my confusion, failings, and amnesia. Welcome.
I know everything.
The feeling of hundreds of eyes on me makes my skin crawl, but I really only think about the one eye by itself and wonder if he's watching. Oh, I'm sorry, but I can't back down now. Not with Julian's life at stake.
Quite
or on a podium.
literally.
I'm here today to prove to you that Dr. Dvorak did not murder the Count. I have very little evidence and poor organization and no prepared argument, and I don't know how the system works, but you need to believe me because I think I love him.
And somebody goes, hey, Is that the fact that basically she's now too close to the case, or they are? I don't know what you identify. Sorry, sir.
I think the individual, she, he, they, them, theirs, would be perhaps a little like have personal agenda
Personal
in this
stakes.
case. Yeah, that one.
Too close.
I hear gasps and murmurs rippling through the crowd, and half of the crowd, the literal 50% that
there
laughs, are
goes.
going,
Yeah! Do it! Prove it! Julian's our boy!
and then half the crowd being like, what? How dare you try to prove him? I hate you.
Fight us!
I've suddenly made
We need blood! Yes, blood!
500 friends and 500 enemies. Poof.
Right down the middle.
During my investigation, I've discovered that the facts don't add up. He's
The
a
facts
good
don't
person.
add?
The facts don't. That there are no facts that anyone has shared with me, and what I've been able to determine as facts on my own don't add to me make him guilty.
So this is again though one of those things that unfortunately, as people have criticized about law and sometimes in regards to arguments in on juries and whatnot, of going like, who are you appealing to?
Right.
Of going, what kind of argument are you trying to make? Are you trying to do pathos? What is it? Pathos, and then there's the three basically big terms for debate.
I know.
And I'm like,
okay, so for
what
me,
are you trying to appeal to?
I cannot get onto board with he's a good person, because what we're literally trying to decide is he guilty of murder or not? So if I say he's a good person, am I trying to say it doesn't matter that he did it? Like him anyway.
Right.
So for me, I really am, the facts don't add up.
Of course they don't.
That is the only information I have. And if I go with the support that I got from basically Nadia, the positive response of, us choosing magic, he can't use magic,
No.
and her suddenly deciding to think this over, which I
Right.
just assume was influenced by her choice and not a standard choice based on nothing, then I don't have the moral ability to determine that he's a good person and haven't known him very long.
Well, and it's also
But
like,
I can say what I have learned is confusing as hell, therefore the facts don't add up.
yeah, the facts seriously don't add up. Like, period.
The facts don't add up. Everyone seems to hold their breath. I can see people leaning forward in their seats. Really? What were you want to tell us? Come on, I want gossip. Gossip!
I'm also like, again, we don't even know necessarily what the mood of the people is in reaction to this. So what I'm confused about half the time, like really with this game of going, we have this huge mystery, except for the fact that we really have so little information about what people's feelings are on the matter, what their relationships are to each other, their backgrounds, their stories, their histories.
We don't know what the general feel of the people in the city was when the murder happened, and whether or not it was injustice, or whether or not it was relief, or whether or not it was the reaction from the play of everyone going, yay, let's make fun of it.
Right?
Like, we've got nothing other than, unless these writers are incredibly more subtle than I have so far understood, and they really are, like, all of that was a very thoughtful, subtle puzzle to build the player's understanding of what the tone of the city is, and this is supposed to be our culmination of that investigation.
I don't know. Personally, I feel a little underwhelmed and very frustrated by this, but that's okay, I guess.
And to prove it, I call Quaestor Valdemar to the stand for questioning. There's a stand, and we're allowed to call witnesses?
Apparently.
How do we know how to do this?
Like I said, we've already had this discussion.
I know.
It's
I'll leave
okay.
it.
We're going to
I'll
go
leave it.
right back to it over and over again because
What I do is I look out to the audience for support, and I go, the pumpkin bread seller is here. I'm so flattered.
Oh, pumpkin bread seller,
I miss you, and your bread and tea.
I love you.
Hey, you're like the uncle I never had because I'm not allowed to date you, so therefore I don't have feelings.
I mean, I platonically love you.
Yes, platonic love.
I love you too, Missy.
Across from me, Julian's face goes ashen. Yes, well, we know they're going to make you sound like a bad person, but the point is facts. Valdemar descends from the courtier's box and takes their position at the witness stand. Thank you, courtiers. Nope, courtiers, they're all courier packages. They're like courtiers. It's fine. They are high-class couriers.
You're right.
There's a counter. Usually like a baron shows up at your door, sign for this.
You're like,
whoa.
I have just been delivered a royal package.
Do you come with the package, sir?
Yes.
To take the witness's stand. What a fascinating custom. Very well. Ask your questions. Where did you and Dr. Dvorak work? Down in the dungeon, studying people with the plague. I miss those days. It would be wonderful if there was another plague.
Okay, this just does nothing except, like, ruin your case.
Actually, it makes your countess, who endorses this person, look like shit.
Oh, yeah, no, I know that too, but I'm also like, it makes you look terrifying, and also her.
Like it doesn't matter what people think of you, honestly, because I feel like most people don't even know who the hell you are. But if you are part of the courtiers, you are endorsed by the countess, and this is not making her look great.
And it's also like, she's already in a bad position, I think. Like, as far as the fact of her, they talk about going, she's been incredibly distant, she hasn't been out in the streets much, she barely does anything. And she also had this incredibly violent husband, which is not her fault. I'm just saying, but she was associated with that.
I think she was wildly overshadowed by him.
Right, but she does have that link, though, of going, like, he was a bloodthirsty monster, as far as I can tell.
Extremely limited experience we have, up to and mostly including, Muriel, kill people more, or I'll remind everyone how much I own you and can make you do whatever I want.
Which also sounds sort of horrifying. Now, if you have people, though, who already hate things and going, I want to see other people die, because what else are you going to do? But the other thing is also going, you've clearly established that he's literally yelling in front of everyone else of going, I have so much power, you can't even stop me when I even tell you what's wrong here.
Yep. All right. Wish there was another plague. And on the night the Count died, was Dr. Dvorak in the dungeon? Oh, yes. I locked him in his office myself. Wow, this is a really thoughtful line of questioning. Good job, us.
I know!
Now, if you'll excuse me, I must prepare the dissection chamber. There won't be much time after the hanging. Without the slightest hesitation, they step off the stand and walk towards one of the arena exits. Grace, you're not going to be in this episode at all either, my dear.
Do you want me to take over?
No, I'm
You're
just
going to have so much fun talking to
you. have done so many voices, and I have been very grateful. And I'm just like, I'm suddenly just alone by myself.
My friend, guess what? You've taken center stage!
I'm suddenly shy. It's fine.
It's all right, mister. You can do this.
Quaestor Valdemar, we're not finished. Quaestor! But with a swish of their white coat, they're gone. On the other hand, that was accurate enough. Knock that off! All of you, quiet!
Traitor!
There we go! The hubbub dies down as quickly as it started. Everyone, whoop! He spoke.
My boy!
Half of them, my boy! The other half, he spoke! Ha! Indignant! Half of them, I cheer for you! The other half, oh my god! With a single word, Julian commands center stage. Everyone, look at him. Spotlights, flood him. He strikes a pose, sparkles.
He slowly starts unbuttoning the top.
And someone goes, you don't have your pole! And he goes, oh god, I'm missing a pole. Grabs one of the guard's spears, shoves it into the ground, Loki style, and begins his retreat. If you missed the episode where we made a joke about Julian being a pole dancer, you are missing something, I tell you.
It's true.
Julian commands center stage. He throws his arms out with a flourish, nearly smacking it unaware again. He really is a little boxer guard. Pop! Oh, sorry. Like, you just knocked my damn helmet off. Excuse you. We don't even know what the guards wear.
We really don't. One. We have no uniform. We have no nothing.
We've never seen one.
It's fine.
Okay, flourish, unwary guard.
I want to make a statement.
Is that part of the trial rules? I object. He's being stupid. I object. Oh, my. What a terribly rude and unconventional request.
It's common practice in legal systems. I know my rights.
Yeah, I assume you're from a different country. We know who you are, where you're from somewhere else.
No, but the thing is he also said he did go to Procro to go study, so he would know Procro
So
customs.
he does, he knows it.
But
Yes!
he's the only one that would!
And so the judge would be like, I don't remember that in the orientation that lasted 10 minutes. Let me go back and check the video.
Hang on, how many pages in
Hang on, I need to look through the orientation book.
Hang on.
All right. I love that he's studying in Procro. I love that we got that. However, if we hadn't bought that extra piece with her babbling about him, we have no idea why he knows that.
No kidding.
That would be so confusing. Is that what it is? Like, the couple of premium options that we've skipped because they looked like makeout scenes? Were we missing critical information about the story, and that's why we're going, what's happening? I can dream.
We can, and that's all we have.
That's right.
Left.
He's traveled a lot. He probably understands the concept of a trial better than I do. It's not that he's traveled a lot, it's specifically that he was in Procra, which is where this trial model is from. I have a bad feeling about this, so interrupt him.
Well, the thing...
Oh, fine, I'll allow it. Get on with it, then.
Whatever it is. I killed the Count. I'm guilty. That's all there is to it.
Are you literally going to lie under what I assume is oath when we've proven with a witness that you were locked away that night, and have another witness that no one will remember and I can't call that knows you didn't do it because it was done beforehand?
I'm like, what are you, also, it's like, what are you trying to protect? Is there something more insidious going on if this gets out, this could tear everything apart.
Could ruin the countarchy? It's not a monarchy.
I know, the countyarchy.
The countyarchy. He's probably, but the thing is if he's not going to share that with us, we can't help him. You're supposed to know that if I die, everything gets better. How the hell would I know that?
Especially since you've been so self-destructive before. I'm sorry, dear, this is just one more drop in your ocean that we need to apparently...
I need to kill myself because I was part and party and complicit in this horrible thing. Well, you know what? You can't do it with the legal system. That's not acceptable.
Yeah, pretty much.
You can't have other people take care of your own self-hatred for you. Again, if you didn't actually break the law, you can't be punished by the law.
It's ridiculous. Right. So, tell me, why do you insist I'm innocent, magician?
Clearly we're going to scream out, because I'm in love with you! Because, Dokies! Because you're second best to the pumpkin bread seller! I'm never going to drop
Pumpkin seller!
Oh, God! Hey, is he serious? He's serious. Looks like my opposition today will be Julian himself.
Yes!
That sounds about
In
right.
one corner stands the magician! And the magician's apprentice, excuse me! In the other corner stands a self-hating nitwit who's the size of a beanpole and can never be judged except for the fact that his legs are fabulous and his abs are missing!
The approximate size and shape of the very pole he dances on. Woo! Anyway, so we'll be fighting with our deck of many cards, which we assume is the Arcana, and he'll be fighting with his self-loathing.
Fight!
Aye. Oh, you were locked up. Nobody saw you.
You were locked up.
Somebody did see you, but you were locked up. If we're going with facts, we're going with facts. You were locked up. As Quaestor Valdemar testified, you were locked in your office on the night of the murder, and I will not flirt with you aggressively during this.
Yeah, because
the way of going, you were locked in your office. Tension during the night of the murder.
Tension.
Yeah, we're not going to do that.
Winky face.
If you were trapped there, how could you have killed the Count?
But I wasn't trapped. Consul Valerius cut me fleeing the scene of the crime, didn't he? Truth is, I could have escaped at any time. I'm a slippery, so it wasn't hard to pick the lock on my own office door.
Because I could totally fit my arms out through the cell things and then get them down to the lock and not be able to see.
Except we know that Muriel let him go, so...
Additionally, it's not a lock. It's a giant freaking bar. It is not a lock. It is a wooden bar.
Yep.
It's not a lockpick.
There's a dozen exits from the tunnels around the dungeon, and even more secret passages in the palace.
So I'm going to testify against you that there is in fact no lock on your office door, and is in fact a heavy wooden beam. How do you pick that, sir?
Pretty much.
I will discredit the hell out of you.
All I had to do was sneak up to his wing.
Cast a fire spell that I can't do.
Set him on fire.
And your magical fire. It would sound convincing if I didn't know the truth. There must be a contradiction somewhere. 1, is a script of a cell. 2, if you only set him on fire. 1, is he incredibly flammable? 2, the whole room didn't burn. How did you stop the entire room from burning, dear sir? How did you set the fire?
On that fateful night, I went to the Count's room to confront him for everything he'd done. We argued. It got heated. I'd taken a torch from the dungeon to light my way out. Excuse me, I'd almost forgotten I was holding it. Until he said he'd see my hometown burn. That was the last straw. So I threw the torch at him, and I watched him burn.
I've got you now. She's got you now. Hold it. She's like, objection. I object. Hold it. Countess? Even at this distance, Nadia's voice is clear, commanding, and impossible to ignore. That was no ordinary fire.
We told her, and she's going to join our side.
And she knows, because she was there trying to clean it up, going, this is clearly not a normal fire. You just lied. You just lied to me and the entire court.
And also the question is, why?
Only the Count's body burned, and though it burned completely, the bedding wasn't even singed. Are you trying to protect someone, Julian de Boac? Because we can convict you of shielding a murderer.
Yeah, I'm like, what are we doing?
That's aiding and abetting.
Like, why is this important?
and there was no evidence of a torch at the scene. The servants who cleaned that wing with me would corroborate this testimony. The crowd erupts in chatter and shouted questions. The ones who hate him, oh my God, let him hang. The ones who love him, yes, keep going with that line of questioning.
Go, my boy, go. Why are you doing this? We love you, Julian. Blah, blah, blah.
Nadia wants to find the truth, too. She's given me an opportunity to turn this trial around.
Is it in danger? I'm not even feeling like this is in danger.
I don't know, we're fine.
It's fine.
So, given the evidence, the fire must have been magical in origin, and you have just made yourself a liar. I slam my hand down on the podium in front of me.
Oh, we are totally doing an Ace Attorney.
We really are. Lovely. We are Ace Attorney. I lean forward dramatically, shoulder first. Can you cast magic? Prove it.
I pled guilty then. I'm pleading guilty now. What more is there to it?
I can't argue if he doesn't give me any leverage.
I mean, that's plenty of leverage.
I can argue that he's a damn liar, and also his cell doesn't have a damn lock, unless he picked the lock and then somehow with the tips of his fingers pulled a giant heavy wooden bar off the door.
No kidding.
Maybe a different line of questioning will help. Why turn yourself in now, after all these years?
Well, you see, that's a funny story, investigator.
Investigator, he spits.
Truth is, I met someone special.
The crowd collectively gasps. Half of them in scandal, half of them in...
my boy. Mazelinka somewhere in the crowd. You little twat! I'll come down there and beat you with a spoon!
A ladle.
Oh, her ladle.
It was a ladle.
I apologize.
They lean forward, enraptured, straining to catch every word, falling out of the bleachers.
People have to start holding each other back.
People holding each other by the seat of their pants. Woo, me leaning closer too. But Julian doesn't pay them a moment's attention. He gazes earnestly at me. I tighten in the back, trying to be helpful, gently scoots the bleachers closer so everyone can see without falling on their faces.
It's okay, guys, we got this. Someone I really care about. Someone I'd do anything to protect. If I could, I'd tell them. I'm doing this because I want them to be safe.
You're not putting me in any danger still, my dude, unless there's something that you're not telling us. There's no danger to do with Nadia and helping you.
I'm also like, is he trying to say something stupid of like, I figured out how to save people? And that's why like the question now I'm wondering going, were we alive during the plague? Or did we die? And he's going, if I tell the truth, it'll break the spell that's keeping you alive.
Or if you
I'm going to go really morbid because
right?
I have nothing else to go with.
You died of the plague. Astra brought you back from the actual dead. You remembering your own death traumatizes you horribly every time you remember it. So he wiped your damn memory, and if you remember it again, it will be the end of everything.
But it's also like, why then would they be interested in bringing us back? Was there something going on other than maybe Astra fell in love with us, or there was some other...
Or maybe we're the only person in like a 9 billion miles with magical talent. Maybe it was somehow their fault that we died. Maybe somebody else begged for it at the time going, I can't believe this happened.
Right?
Who knows?
Sir, ma'am, tell me the truth.
Even if it means dying. The words slip out before I can stop them. Aha.
Some things are worth the risk.
Dying isn't a risk. You're just dead.
There's nothing left to risk. You're just dead.
I can't seem to get any words around the lump in my throat. I am not a trained prosecutor, and I am very close to this case. A piercing voice shatters the moment. Now then, I think the evidence provided is clear. Yes, very clear. It's time for us to pass judgment upon this terrible, awful man for being a liar. The crowd murmurs restlessly. I can see people jostling each other and whispering. Now, if you believe him guilty, cheer! A wave of cheers crashes over the arena. Nobody cares for facts.
Good job, sound
The story
effects.
of my real life. Hi, I'm Liz, and I love facts, and everybody else loves emotions, and it alienates me constantly. Thank you. Nice to meet you. I'll let myself out. And if you believe him innocent, cheer! I can't tell which one was louder. Sounds evenly split, like the town is still, perfectly cut in half. It's a curse. His curse isn't really that he can take on people's pain. It's that 50-50 chance people will love him or hate him. And that is all it is.
Uh-huh.
A ripple of discontent goes through the crowd. People begin to argue and point fingers. Oh, dear. Oh, my. It seems like the will of the people is evenly split. Why whatever shall we do? I suppose I must decide. Yes, it simply must be me. The townspeople hardly seem to hear him. The unrest is escalating into shouting. Order! Order, you ill-mannered... I say, you ill-mannered ruffians! Enough! Once again, Nadia silences the crowd. Why don't we take a recess while Praetor Vlastimil considers his verdict and his choices? Yes! Excellent idea, Countess. Court is now in recess.
I'd call dibs on the soccer ball. Sorry.
I want the hula hoop. Who wants to play hide and go seek? Don't forget to come back in 20 minutes for a decision. Bathrooms are anywhere you want to go. It is an arena.
Oh, Lordy.
Wait, we just left? You're kidding!
Yeah, that's it.
That's hilarious. We're like, I don't get to talk to Nadia. I just walk the hell out of that. It's fine.
Goodbye.
I catch a glimpse of Julian, still in chains, being led back to the dungeons. Where are you taking him away for 20 minutes? You also get a 20-minute break, sir. You're not on trial for 20 minutes. It's fine.
He can go to the bathroom, finally.
Mm-hmm. Oh, she also leaves. This recess is everyone forcibly out of the Coliseum, period.
Hello, my bros. What's up, my homies?
A moment of your time. Nadia descends the stairs from her private box, approaching me. I must confess, this is not how I expected this trial to go. Well, no one is familiar with your customs except the accused, so it must be very taxing for you, nerd. You surprisingly know everything you need to know, and I'm impressed.
Hi.
I don't know when you learned that knowledge. What can I do? You don't have to stop this. I mean, you can stop this, but if you want to make change, you've got to find a way to press forward and make it work.
Right.
Like with what you want to happen, so you can demonstrate your system. Otherwise, if you're trying to regain power and stability, and you immediately cop out, going, this isn't going the way I want, you're going to have a way less chance to ever get your footing.
Yeah, right. I'm like her saying, though, also, you have to stop this is also us kind of giving up and going...
It's also us telling the Countess what to do.
Her, like, we don't know how the system... That's so that, what can I do?
What can I do? We don't know what we're doing. What can I do? There must be something. I fear I have no simple solution for you. I must obey the rules of the justice system I have put forth. I cannot risk undermining it now. That's true.
We know that.
Her words and bearing are carefully controlled, but I can sense her discontent. She studies me for a long, measured moment. But you could. And as long as, I don't stop you. Oh. If you'd like to speak to the doctor again, the guards will let you in.
It doesn't matter. A verdict's coming next, and...
What we should be talking about is going, okay, so your judge is about to call a verdict. What we need to do is have one of those final Ace Attorney talks to the jury and going, here's my final statement. These are the actual facts, and he could not have done it.
Period.
He has lied on the stand, and while he is guilty of that, he is not guilty of murder. He would have known what the murder weapon was and how it happened. It doesn't matter if you confess to shooting a man 6 times in the chest. If he was stabbed once in the throat, you're wrong.
Yep, pretty much.
So that's my case, and people can be emotional about it or not. I nod and head across the arena. And since it's a really big arena, I use up half of the intermission, and I'm sad by the time I'm there. Especially since I'm polite and I went out at the end of the crowd. By the time I get to Julian's cell, intermission is over. And I talk to him on the way back to the stand.
Hello.
At the entrance to the dungeons, the music changes dramatically to something bright and playful. It really did. It's just like... Back to samba music, soft samba. All right, here we go. Grab my hands. Yes.
All right, let's go.
Softly samba. Yes, lovely samba music. This is totally the mood I expect when I meet Julian in his, chains. It's fine.
I know, he's on death row.
At the entrance to the dungeons, there's samba music, and a dozen townspeople are dancing and milling around.
There's a guy with a little guitar playing.
There's a guy playing it on a ukulele. There's someone selling churros. Somebody else
selling little plague doctor masks for their children still.
Yep. Other people selling, vials of fouled blood, going, have a sample of the plague.
Yes, plague.
Don't drink it. They cajole, plead, and push, trying to get past the guards. I just walk through.
Guards.
I walk through like a diva, and they open.
I walk thinking murder.
God, I just... Shoulders down, chin up, murder, and I head forth.
Uh-huh.
Stand back. Everyone, stand back!
Let me in! I want to shake his hand!
Oh, wow.
Can you get to him to sign the souvenir eye patch?
Yes! We were right about the merchandising.
Oh god,
I
the
love
merchandising is strong.
It's strong. Souvenir eye patch, even better. You know what? Should they have starched cloaks for everyone?
Oh, what if they have like little tiny mini versions and you can put them on your Julian dolls?
Yes, the Julian dolls.
Oh, your little dress-up
you could buy the bonus content, the little cloak if you want to.
And you have your little eye patch.
Oh, you can get it. Yep, that one.
Justice for Julian!
Ned! Mazelinka's familiar voice makes my heart leap. She breaks away from the rowdy townspeople, shouldering through them until she reaches, and her shoulders are about groin height, so they move real fast. I'm glad I spotted you. How are you holding up? I struggle to find the words to describe the last day, but every description falls short. I was afraid of that.
I was afraid.
I know you must be busy, Ned, but I actually want to ask a favour of you. These guards are keeping us all out of the dungeon. Maybe you can help me in. I brought my spoon, but it's not working.
I'm gonna beat his ass.
I want to talk some sense into that boy. It is the spoon. Okay, you were right. It's not a ladle. It's a spoon.
A spoon.
I bring her to Julian. I can't.
Bring her
You know
to
what?
Julian!
I would just take her in. Like, it is. If he's about to die, he might as well hear it from everyone who loves him.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'd do it.
Hi,
How
I
do you
have special
know-
dispensation from the Countess. Move, and this is my guest. Goodbye.
Yeah, also,
Done.
shoulders down, chin up, both of us.
And
walking,
think
murder.
murder.
Think murder. Fine.
What?
Oh, Lord. She's getting to the crowd.
She takes and she winds up with one elbow and look, crack! Somebody hits the ground, clutching their precious bits and crying and throwing up everywhere, and then she just continues on. Crack!
Left elbow, right elbow, left elbow, right elbow. As she goes through the crowd, I stare at the devastation and wonder if anyone will be left standing to vote at the end.
Might be.
You know, could you maybe just save a few more of those elbows at the people who were less into Julian? And maybe we just sway the crowd that way, since no one's complaining. What if we just knock out the 50% that don't like him?
Hey, Mazelinka, you could use a spoon on other people. There is no spoon. It's Julian.
But it's not an airplane. It's just a spoon.
It's not a food, but it's not a plane. It's the spoon. I'm terrified and a mess and I'm exhausted and I've had 15 seconds of how to perform vaguely in front of a crowd and I want to cry.
You know, public speaking is the worst fear in the entire world, like the most common fear in the entire world. Nerd is doing amazing.
Yeah, good job, honey.
Yay!
Yay! Everybody give a round of applause. Round of applause. Kick his ass.
Dancing to the cha-cha music. Do, 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 do. Oh, hello. Holds his spear straight as soon as he sees us. Puts his boots back in place.
He immediately flinches and slowly pulls up his spear because he's knocked it into his foot and slowly crumples to the ground going, sure, you can go right in. I'll just be here. And he falls over, clutching his foot to his chest, rocking slowly back and forth, and then he weeps quietly into the dirt.
Someone else walks up beside him, one of the other guards, as we're walking down the hall and goes, "You idiot, I told you not to slam your spear on the floor like a drama queen. Now look what's happened."
Shut up. It hurts us.
We walk away from the muffled and disagreeable voices. Who's judging the spectacle behind us? They're both idiots. Not hitting themselves in the face with their spear while they shoot.
And then they die and crumple
into the ground. With the, a gun to the tongue. To the wall. This is us.
I think I'm funny sometimes.
We think we're incredibly funny.
Like we have to make up for his one eye. Hang on, floop.
They're like, okay, no, you know what it is? I am part of the 50% that loves him, so I want to see what happens. Let me listen in. I'll look very serious, I promise.
Can I collect your spit?
Hi.
Julian. What?
Can I buy your real eye patch off you before you're killed? That'd be great. I'll keep it forever. Can I maybe have your hair?
Him with the money.
Can I maybe have your hair too?
But it's
That'd
just
be
the
great.
thought that counts, right?
I love that
Aye.
they dressed him like this for his trial.
It's
Like,
fine.
this is really much that they let you wear. Like, they're not trying to shame you or embarrass you or put you in, like, some sort of an outfit they can control. They didn't take your eye patch away. They're just like, you know what? Look really sharp. Now let's put you up there, you asshole.
All right, goodbye. Oh, is this?
The little one?
Is this actually one of his grandmas?
One of the grandmas? I thought so. I thought of her as a grandmother figure all the time. She gestures unsubtly to me. You see, you muddle me. You make me so frustrated. You walnut. Okay, so, sir, what kind of danger do you think I'm in? That is what I need to know.
This seems like the same amount of bullshit that basically Asper is pulled. We want to keep you safe. From what? Well, I can't talk about it. I am not a child!
I am in danger from the mysterious Danger McDanger. Are you the Danger McDanger? Quick, nerd! Don't talk to that person! Why not? Can't tell you, walk this way, pretend I said nothing. La 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 la. I want to ask you safe from what? That
This
is
is
all
not what I would
ask you. I just want to ask you
Safe from what?
Because if you're like, I've thought of every option ever, but I've never even considered that someone else might have done it if I couldn't remember or prove that I'd done it. You who thinks of everything and yet does not think of anything, what do you think I'm in danger from? Can I convince you that maybe you haven't thought it through?
Why does everybody here treat us like we're a 2-year-old?
Like you're an idiot. Nerd,
I
you're
would
stupid, it's fine.
Honestly, just go with, though, I don't hate you. Because do I mean that much to you is fishing?
It is.
When you're having this devastating moment and you hate the crap out of yourself, this is literally not going to help you.
I don't know, I'm just going to say I don't hate you.
I don't
This
hate-
isn't about me. Whatever. The guard's standing right there, so you know. No, the cards told me right here in my pocket. They vibrate.
They buzzed on my hip, and for
They're
a
like
second I thought I lost my mind, and I about peed my pants. But damn it!
Then
remembered.
I remembered that they were set to vibrate instead of ring, and it was okay.
Yes!
And then I looked at them and I remembered they're a perfect lie detector, even if they're mysterious, edgelords most of the time, like yourself. So while you were talking on the stand, I just felt them and I listened and I knew all the stuff you were making up, and it's fine.
It's fine.
Threatens the spoon.
Wow.
I will get you with this spoon.
I'll spank you.
It's only been one day. I won't die.
It's fine.
Meaningful look. She just stares at both of us like, I will murder both of you separately if you don't end up
And
together.
in gruesome ways.
If he dies, I'm gonna murder him.
Okay, I will bring him back to life, and then I'll murder him again, and then I'll bring him back to life, and then I'll spank him, and
And then I'll bring him back to life and I will put him next to you and you can try and, comfort him or something. It's fine.
it's fine.
So if we didn't pay to get her in, would we just have walked down here by ourselves or
I guess
something?
so. Yeah, I think so. There's also the other thing too, where at least for me, I don't mean to paint Mazelinka as being super aggressive. I understand she's supposed to be basically like the tough grandma stereotype kind of thing. And in some ways, while I love that stereotype, there's also a level of where I think he can do a lot of great harm. Because also sometimes you really can, I've seen it happen, where people are like, well, that's just who they are. They can really just knock people over.
Sometimes you
and
need-
be incredibly insensitive.
You need your own autonomy. And while that archetype is fun and well-meaning, then it does often sometimes push its own agenda and ignore what you actually want. In the case of your own self-preservation, someone strong-willed and going, don't do that, is really great.
Yeah.
In the case of most of the rest of your life, that can be really hard to maintain an independent will outside of theirs.
And sometimes even where people going, well, it's just because they love you. And I'm like, sometimes abuse can look like love. And sometimes the abuse is also love.
Is driven by love.
It's driven by love, but it is still abuse.
It is.
It really is.
Painfully aware of the guard standing just a few feet away, I clear my throat. I can't ask him about the book now. I can't even let it slip that I know him. I could ask him
you
about the book
could.
now.
The book is...
Literally, I was investigating your office and I found this book, which I intend to use as evidence. What can you tell me about it? How hard is that?
Yeah, no kidding. This is...
I can't admit that I was investigating the case I was hired to investigate.
Ooh.
Yes, you can, dear.
But
it's okay. You're not an investigator, so that you didn't think of that is all right. Dr. Dvorak, I pretend casually. He averts his gaze, the tips of his ears slowly turning crimson. The silence stretches for a few seconds before he cracks.
So, about that crowd up there, eh? Friendly bunch of people.
That really is. It's pretending like we didn't buy the premium scene in this case, and this is where we first started talking to him.
I think so. I think you're right.
Like, in the one case in Muriel's hut, it assumed we bought the premium scene, and here it's writing it as if we didn't, and this would be the beginning of the conversation. That's wild.
At least assuming we've got this right, because that was an interesting switch. Like, if...
So suddenly going Dr. Dvorak, for what? What is he supposed to continue on and expound on?
Right?
Like, what was that introduction other than we just walked into a cell?
Friendly bunch, aren't they? You're magnificent, by the way. If I weren't guilty, I'd think I was innocent.
I'd think I was innocent. Stop protecting yourself.
Prosecuting yourself.
Stop prosecuting yourself. You know what? I honestly want to be like, stop prosecuting yourself, but it's yelling with an exclamation point, so I don't know if that sounds right.
Why are you doing this?
Why are you doing this?
I want an answer.
Why are you doing this?
Is it obvious?
Yes, I asked to prove, so you can prove to me that you understand what it is. No, I asked because I do not know. I am not asking a question to make you look like an idiot if you can't answer it.
And to make
I'm
you
not
defensive.
being condescending. I'm literally going, hey, could you explain this to me?
Because you're clearly doing something that I don't know what's going on. This is something I have to do.
Are you going to lose the ability to breathe if you don't do it? It will kill you if you don't do it. So you're saying you'll either die because you have to, which is a need, you have to, or you're going to have to kill yourself. So why does it matter either way?
Right? It's the only way. I'd say more, but well...
He gives a meaningful look past my shoulder at the guard by the door, who's trying not to look like an embarrassed fanboy. Then, with a clatter of chains, he rushes up to me and catches my shoulders, bending close. His voice is soft, barely louder than a whisper. The guard freaks out and immediately rushes to tear us apart.
Yeah, no kidding. Trust me, nerd. I have a plan.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah!
Get away from them. The guard hauls me back, putting themselves between me and Julian. How? That's awesome.
Honestly, I'm like, you really could show the book.
What
is wrong? I don't understand. Like, logically, that doesn't make any sense.
We cannot show him the book.
Why
not? Would the guard possibly know what this book is in any way you can fathom, given that it's something you barely recognize? You could be like, I found this while investigating.
There's something in here.
Tell me about this.
Yep.
Like,
but
literally.
that's not unreasonable.
Also going, why doesn't Nadia want to be present for any of this investigation or connected to it at all if she can have the final decision? Except for she's not going to. The final decision. Why doesn't she want anyone else to have information? I don't know. He backs away. No more smacking your forehead. It's fine. Facepalm is strong right now. Both hands raised in surrender, still smiling.
No arm down, see?
Overhead, a gong sounds. Still bristling, the guard turns to me.
It's time for the verdict. Please, go back upstairs.
I mean, you have to take him upstairs too, don't you?
Yeah.
When I take the questionnaire stand again, took about 40 minutes to get everyone organized. Honestly, this place is chaos. I mean, that was an hour-long intermission based on getting everyone out of there and ended there, but it's fine.
I know people are like, you only have 20 minutes. I'm like, oh my god. Some of these things, really, where they're like, everybody needs to be present, they will take as long as it takes, but they will be very pushy about it. Or they'll go, we need to leave, we're done.
I mean, the thing is but when people are coming back, they don't start until everyone's seated. So if people are milling around, like, that's it. Anyway, the townspeople are returning to their seats. Despite the recess, they still seem restless. I can see more than a few scowling faces, and many souvenir eye patches.
Yep, it's great. All in the crowd, and they have their little flags. Julian! And then there's what, the big J's, you know, and they're all crossed out, and then there's the one that just had the J, and they're all glaring at each other.
And then you have the other ones.
It's Gryffindors versus Slitherpuffs!
That have the giant foam fingers that are like, Julian! Then you have the other ones that have like a giant foam, like, you know,
middle finger.
Middle finger,
Grumpy faces.
I love it. The guards march Julian out of the dungeon. The dungeon. Julian's dungeon.
Julian's dungeon.
Julian's.
His onions. He's like, hang on,
Julian.
cut a bit of onions, scrape it under each arm. Do I smell bad yet?
Oh, God. And to the accused stand. Wait, if I'm the accused, does that mean this is my stand? Can I take it home with me afterwards? Hang on.
That's my favorite stand.
Now that you are all feeling less rowdy, I can get on with the verdict. After a very lengthy, 20 minutes exactly, and careful consideration, I pronounce the accused, Julian Dvorak, guilty. The crowd begins to cheer and boo and then shout and argue. Vastamil has to shriek to be heard. So you're saying we didn't have a choice in this anyways. And I sentence him to death by hanging at the start of the masquerade. I totally want to start off a great party with a dead man swinging from a rope out front.
You have to consider that executions, in some ways, actually
They were a public spectacle.
They were.
know.
That's which is so frustrating. Like,
I'm also like, dude,
damn.
you don't pass for human. What are you doing?
None of them really do. It's sort of a joke, I think. Like, so obvious. Ooh.
Someone throws a bottle. I thought they were going to hit him in the head. That would have been amazing.
That would be amazing. I would have been like,
Amazing.
score!
bottle
I know it's terrible, but I
Like
just...
Vlastimil's box. In the blink of an eye, the whole crowd is in an uproar. Why didn't Nadia speak to him at all? Like, it sounds like she didn't even talk to him in the interlude.
Well, she's not supposed to influence him. Remember, he's supposed to make an independent decision. Have careful consideration. I mean, I honestly don't know how the rules are working. I'm just guessing.
What has she educated him on as far as the deliberation is concerned? And why choose him as your deliberator? Just because he's wearing the judge hat?
Because, you know, he looks like Frollo on drugs.
Well, so he looks like a really religious figurehead. So you're basically like, all right, Goblin Frollo, would you just...
Gabrolo?
Would you just, you know...
We're going to call him Gabriello.
Since you have the right hat on, clearly, I know you well enough and I trust you enough to put you in this position when I cast my court.
You know what? I would hire someone based on...
So my resume says I'm Goblin Frollo. Hired, I love it.
God, yes. Where have you been?
Wait, hang on. One question. Can you sing Hellfire? I need to know. Hellfire! Brilliant! Hired! Yes! The guards converge around Julian as aggrieved townspeople swarm the arena.
Oh, they are furious.
My heart hammering. I rush for the exit before I can get caught up in the chaos. Because I'm not connected to anyone. I always act independently. And there's no one here who will ever help me. And I have no association with anybody, nor any place to go. No wonder I'm so attached to Julian. I'm a complete island of like separation from all other people because I will never attach myself to anyone or count on anyone or run to anyone for anything. I haven't even asked my only established friend, Astra, for any help or advice in this entire thing, nor have I even just spent time with him as a friend other than to vomit all of my problems on him and not even say hello.
No kidding.
Caught up in the chaos, I mean. I'm not going to let this stand. I've got to do something. I've got to break the law as well.
Pretty much.
I know I can count on Portia, but we'll need all the help we can get. Far above me, a raven screams. Wah!
Yes.
I look up and inadvertently spot a flash of color at the top of the Coliseum stands. When I reach out with my magic, I feel Astra's familiar presence respond. And I go, gee, I'm sorry I never speak to you anymore. You know, I never like you anymore because I can only have one friend at a time. Otherwise, I overload. I'm really an introvert really hard.
Either that or it's just basically the fact is I will have a conflict of feelings and interest, apparently, because I don't know myself, nor can I basically be with two people at once. It's basically impossible.
I can't know more than one person. Even spending my time divided with Portia speaking to her at this point has been challenging.
I've only got one song and dance number. You've got to let me have it.
I have one brain cell and one heart cell, and I can't work them both at the same time. The book I took from Julian's office sits heavily in my bag. I pick it up out of my bag.
And I
point the metal front at the sun and shine it dramatically above my head at Astra Lion King style. Take the book! Bitch! I have questions. Maybe he'll have answers. We now remember that he exists so that we can talk to him. Welcome back to town, Astra. I'm going to vomit things on you that have nothing to do with you and don't appreciate you at all. And then I'm not going to see you again for a couple of days until I go, oh my god, you could be a resource. Our transactional relationship will be so helpful.
Oh, great. This is what I have friends for.
It's time I talk to Astra. You act like you've been putting it off. What? Since when have we ever even thought about Astra at the beginning of this? Oh my god. All right, well, I enjoyed performing by myself in a void again, as Scandal has done beautifully supporting me in the scenes where they had 3 or 4 characters, and I only had the one.
It's all right, I support you.
So, thank you so much for being here. We'd love it if you would check out the rest of our Arcana, and possibly the channel, etc. And...
gosh, so, I have been Scandal.
And I have been Lies. And it was great playing